Have you ever thought about being a child care advocate? Do you know the children are our future? Do you know that the first 2,000 days of a child's life is when they retain the most information? It is critical that we establish a foundation as early as 6 months. As a federal reviewer, we are advocating for children. So I chose to interview Ms. Luchana Artis, who has been a federal reviewer for the last 6 years. She says she enjoys being a child advocate and also traveling all over the United States. She has been as far as Seattle, Washington, as far south as Miami, Florida. She has been in New York, Texas, Tennessee. She's been all over advocating for children, making sure programs are following state and federal guidelines. A federal funded program is required to have a federal review every 5 years. So as I'm interviewing Ms. Artis, she stated that to begin a review, she contacts the director of the center and lets them know, and they open up a 2 week window. So she's able to come anywhere in that 2 week period, and she's there between 3 to 4 days to do her observation or her monitoring of the program. And once she gets there, she meets with the director, and they go in and they set up a schedule for her to follow for those 3 to 4 days. After she meets with the director, her monitor begins after that moment. So she starts at the so she starts with the playground area because that's where most programs seem to fail at during is on the playground equipment and things of that nature. So she goes out and she assesses everything that's on the playground, including storage barns or facilities that keep their storage equipment in. She reviews that as well. Ms. Artis states that she looks at the equipment. She wants to make sure that the equipment is doing what it's supposed to be doing, that nothing is broken, nothing is torn, nothing is worn. Old equipment, old children toys can't be on the playground. If it's broken, it shouldn't be there. It should be replaced immediately. She's making sure there's no rocks or debris out on the playground because, in North Carolina, we do have a lot of storms and things can happen, but it has to be clean. It has to be safe for the children because that's what we're doing. We're advocating for the children to have them in safe environments. And we want to be in safe environments. Next the next part of her observation is going into the kitchen. She wants to make sure that the cooks have their self-serve certification on the wall. She also wants to make sure that the area that is set for storage is neat, is free of contamination. She's checking the labels on the containers to make sure what's on the label is actually in the container. She's looking at the equipment to make sure that it's running properly. There's no broken equipment. The refrigerator is at the right temperature. The water is at its right temperature. She's checking all these things as she's going through the kitchen. She wants to make sure that the kitchen staff is providing nutritious meals as well as hearty meals and food that tastes pretty decent. Children eat what they like, and if they don't like the taste, then sometimes they won't eat, and they can go all day without eating. So we want to make sure that children are getting nutritious meals. So that's a part of the observation as well during the review. Miss Artis stated that the next thing that she does is she goes into the classroom. She wants to make sure that the classroom is an inviting space. She wants to make sure that the children feel invited as well as the parents. So she spends a lot of time in the classroom monitoring, observing the teachers' interaction with each other and observing the teacher interaction with the children as well as with the parents. She also is looking at the room to make sure that it's set up conducive to learning, that it's not overly stimulated, that there's too much stuff in here that they can't, they're all over the place, but she wants to make sure that it's a safe place. She wants to make sure that it's conducive to learning, and she wants to make sure that the teachers are providing a warm environment for the children. The next day, this consists probably about 2 days. And the third day, she's doing a review of the staff files, the children files. She wants to make sure the children have their immunization records are up to date, their physicals are up to date, all their screenings have been completed in a timely manner. And then she's going to look at the staff files to make sure that their education is up to date, making sure their CPR and first aid is accurate and has not expired, making sure that criminal background check is in there and it hasn't expired. Because some of these things do expire like 2 years, 3 years, or a year. And it's important that the director make sure that these things doesn't expire because if a staff person does not have an active criminal background, they cannot work in a child care center. They have to leave immediately. So it's very crucial that the program make sure that these things does not expire, she stated. Also, I asked Miss after she's finishing with the child files and the staff files. She then reviews the program itself, making sure that they're in compliance with state and federal guidelines. I asked her, as we was concluding the interview, I asked her what is the most challenging thing for her, and she stated that unfortunately there are times when they have to close down a center because they are not in compliance with state and federal guidelines. She doesn't take it personally because they have the information that they need to run a successful program. So if they let problems occur and don't address those problems immediately, then that can cause a program to close. But they are there to help it reopen by providing them the necessary resources to make sure that they get the training that they need, they get the whatever it is that they're missing. She makes sure that they're able to get that information that they need. She really enjoys being a child advocate for Officer Hefstar and the state government, and she enjoys what she does. And I hope to one day become a child advocate and work as a federal reviewer. Thank you for your time.